Okay, I got my neutral gray. I come in peace kind of thing. Infinity band from Wikipedia. Disruptive Editing received Friday, 16 June 2023. So this is going to be an attempt at... In a time when disruption and innovation have become interchangeable in certain contexts, I've chosen to interpret my infinity band from Wikipedia for disruptive editing as a badge of honor of sorts. Yeah. And so I've made a video about this in the past, and I've talked about it in multiple videos. So this is going to be my approaching this as an awards and honor video. So putting it in that playlist where like date of reception is Friday, 16 June 2023, because that was when I received it and was implemented and that kind of stuff. And as of filming this video on Tuesday, 26 September 2023, in the City of Shoreline, Community of Venice Garden and City of Shoreline, King County, Washington State, United States of America, Planet Earth, the original. I'm on day 103 of the Infinity Band, counting today and the day the ban was implemented. So that's pretty good. It's lasted longer than the first 100 days of the United States of America presidency each time. Sorry, that's a really stupid thing. But like, yeah, that's 100 days by definition. This is 103 days. Okay. It's a joke, but not really, but like just it's lasted longer than the first 100 days kind of thing. Okay. For contextualization, some people get really into politics, and so they have a feel for like what the first 100 days of something feels like. This is longer than the first 100 days of that, right? This is now day 103. So, the Wikipedia Administrator, user Courcelles, who blocked me for disruptive editing, did not provide, and to date has not provided, a reason why they thought my editing was disruptive. Yeah, so I've been thinking of this, and I went back and I looked over my past edits, because I still have on English Wikipedia alone, I have over 26,000 active edits, and on Wikimedia in general, so that's like Wikidata, Wikimedium Commons, English Wikipedia, Italian Wikipedia, that kind of stuff, I have over 27,000 active edits. So like a few of my edits were deleted and I was blocked from editing, but for the most part, the vast majority of the part, you can still see what I put out there. And so I was like, okay, well, they didn't dislike what I did so much that they went and deleted everything. So let me go back. And I said my interpretation was they blocked me for defense and self-defense of me, defense of my family, that kind of thing. And went back and looked over my edits. I had done that before. It wasn't actually my first time doing that, so I'm gonna kind of say that might not be the reason. If I brought up, please don't rape this female Russian swimmer and that kind of stuff, but I already brought up rape before, like maybe this editor's my rapist on one page and that didn't get deleted. That's still out there, right? So like, while I kind of maybe jumped on that as the reason at the beginning, it is inconsistent with what of my edits still remain on Wikipedia, and the fact that I was not actually blocked for that in the first time that kind of happened. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, okay, so maybe that's not actually it. So our best guesses, me and the squirrels, me and the critters, and whatever humans have been putting their brainwaves in on this with me, I've got 3 guesses now. So our best guesses to the reason for the block are: 1, I made a link, I kind of like think it might be this, but maybe not. I made a link to a user page from an article page. What? Yeah, I did that. Was that the first time in Wikipedia history somebody has actually done that in a non-Wikipedia way? It might have been. Which would actually be insanely disruptive and insanely innovative. That'd be like if a professor wanted to edit with their real name and they did not feel comfortable having a page completely out of their control, like because they had a history of being harassed or discriminated against. Instead of linking to an article page about the professor, I'd link to the user page. And so essentially that's what I did on an article, which is not the norm whatsoever. So in that sense, per my Italian word of the day and providing a definition for kind of disruptive, it was very disruptive in that sense. So I was like, that one I could very well see, although that if you go back through the revision history of that page, the page is Nika Godin for a female Russian swimmer. That link is still in the revision history of the page, that link I put on there. that kind of thing. So are they preserving history in that sense, in that I made the first ever link of that kind or something? I don't know. That would be disruptive and innovative. Okay, 2. User Courcelles did not like having a clean editor. So clean editors socially are defined as someone editing with their real name on Wikipedia. It's not the vast majority of editors, but there are a minority of editors who do use their real name, and like me. So user Courcelles did not like having a clean editor with over 26,000 active edits. So that would be a super petty reason. It could also be a reason user Courcelles does not use their real name. And at least does not use their real full name. So that could be. And then the third one, which I would not entirely understand, is because it would be beyond my control, is it is a freeze and what I wrote is being documented / preserved somewhere other than Wikipedia for a prize for my work on a stability solution for athletic performance during the Russian-Ukrainian war. That was the #1 thing from all of the in-person feedback I've gotten in my editing on Wikipedia is, how are you not being attacked? Right, for writing about the Russians in the Russian-Ukrainian war. And then I get blocked for disruptive editing. So I would guess that the people who were following me in my editing on Wikipedia, none of us were really surprised by the like, if you throw the part about me writing about the Russians in there. Now I was not pushing the Russians, right? I was working on a stability solution for athletic performance, because athletic performance is one of the things that kind of keeps culturally, it helps stabilize just human activity in general and good health. So in a wartime setting, stabilizing athletic performance and making sure that neither country in the war has their kind of performance systems completely cut off. So that kind of thing. So thinking for like Russia, that'd be national championships, and stabilizing that and making it a place where people want to have that kind of either the pinnacle of their career for what is available to them at the time, that kind of thing. So I did work on that. I actually started working on some of that stability solution work of my own passion pursuits in my spare time back in like 2017, 2018, when some of the first boycotts were rolled out and kind of percolated socially or surrounding the Russian-Ukrainian war, and those boycotts were against Russia. I have family who are Russian. I had some of my best friends growing up were Russian, and I was actually at the University of California, Berkeley. One of the students I mentored was Russian. So, all right, and a bunch of the people who were anti-Russian had never met a Russian, or if they had, did not put 2 and 2 together that that person over there they like was Russian. They're like, I hate all Russians, but then they like that person. Like, they would literally have that. And I was like, all right, somebody needs to put their mind on this and actually come up with some real solutions, because the people who are pro-Ukraine tend to be insanely self-contradictory and not internally consistent. In physics, that would be a burn. Okay. So yeah, so that's sometimes like some of the stuff I put out was very much about stability and finding a solution while this war is continuing, kind of thing. And so there is murmurs, so to speak, of like, perhaps there's a prize coming. Sometimes some of those prizes, whatever prize it might be, can be decades in the coming. So so I don't know. But it is consistent with kind of some of the response after some of what I've published. It's kind of changed from insanely antagonistic to kind of more accepting. It's consistent with kind of the social interactions I've heard and the reputation of that kind of surround big peace prizes, and kind of the social pushback I've felt and experienced myself. So there's a like consistency in all of this, where that one makes sense. And then user Courcelles might be part of that, but might also be a pawn, so to speak, in the awarding organizations. We need to step in here and document this before this goes further, kind of thing. And one of those things might be like, I might have been tagged for a Nobel Peace Prize, like that was the proposed award. However, we've covered on this channel that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the Nobel Prize, so there might be a like, okay, can we find her an equivalent award and give her the same press, so it's still coherent. And I don't know if at the time of awarding then there would be no Nobel Prize in Peace, to give time and recognition to the work that was done, with a different awarding. I don't know if awards work in synchrony like that, to be mindful of each other. I don't know. So yeah, two of the advisors that I had at the University of California, Berkeley were MacArthur Genius Grant Fellows, and they both kind of were very much about logistical, how things work behind the scenes. So, and other people I've interacted with had different prizes as well. And like one of my advisors when I was an undergrad, she won a teaching award while I was there. I wrote like a letter of recommendation thing for somebody else, for a teaching award. But so I'm not unfamiliar with different awards can have different things come about because of them, and that there are documentation like freezes, so to speak, kind of thing. As for user Courcelles, has my outlook on the person changed, or people, or whoever? So user Courcelles may be best, especially if it's like number 1 or 2 for my best guesses, may be best analogous to that person in an office setting who takes the stapler off a person's desk without asking and without providing a reason why, and who may or may not ever return it. Those kind of people just bother me. Right? Just like, at least ask, at least provide a warning. I mean, that was kind of, I would say, for their conduct, the biggest red flag for them is just provide a warning, right? If you really are going to block somebody for infinity, even God has commandments, right? So clearly user Courcelles is not a religious person, right? Like, so there's just some really basic intelligence that's lacking there, be it by their own choice or naturally. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of my take on the infinity ban currently. Yeah, so not really upset. I'm working on my YouTube specific. I'm working on figuring out how to report on athletic performances now in like video form, which is different. But that's a bit about that. And I'm on day 103 of my infinity ban and counting. Happy Tuesday, 26 September 2023.